Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy FlyIslandGuy. Welcome aboard. Today we are back in Lima, Peru, and we're going to be doing a short flight down to a small town called San Juan de Marcona. So we'll talk about that once we get in the air. But we're going to be cruising today at 25,000 feet. Flying time is going to be just a little over 1 hour, and we're expecting really good weather pretty much all the way there today. And I could just bring up wind.com right here so we can just have a quick look just to see what we're going to be experiencing en route. So let's bring this guy up. All right, so this is pretty much it. Right now we're at San Juan de Marcona, which is, well, we're not here right now. This is actually where we're heading. And we're going to be coming from Lima, Peru, which I'm trying to figure out where it is. Ah, here we go. We're right here. Is that a dash 8? Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah, so focus. Okay, so yeah, we're coming from Lima, Peru right up here, and yeah, we're going to San Juan de Marcona. Let's get rid of that. Pretty much nothing in the way of weather. Should be clear skies for the most part all the way down. We're going to be doing a visual approach in here. This is a very small airport, no published approaches, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that is pretty much it, folks. Just take windy.com off, and we're gonna get this guy out the way. Boom. Unfortunately, there's an issue with the pusher test for some reason. It's just not working for me right now, and I don't know why. I pushed the button, advance the throttles, nothing happens. So we're just gonna have to leave the pusher warning on, and hope that everything works. But I don't know what's going on with that, and I'm not restarting this whole flight just for that. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay, so here in Lima, Peru, we're going to be departing runway 16 left, which I believe is going to be a very tiny runway. It's not going to be the main runway. So all right, I'm going to bring up Navigraph down below, just so I could see where I have to taxi. This is a pretty big airport, and airports, cool. All right. Oh, maybe I was wrong. I don't know. All right, so we're good to go, folks. Just gonna get out of here and hit all of this this traffic here, all these carts and buses and everything. This bus seems really small, though. I'm pretty sure it'll be a lot bigger than this aircraft, but it's okay. All right. So local time here in Lima. Let me look that up. I'm not really sure. Just enjoy the aircraft as we taxi, though. All right, so it is about 11:45 here in Lima. So we're seeing pretty much the lunchtime rush here for all of these aircraft. Definitely a beautiful day here for flying. And we could just enjoy the view of the aircraft taking off. All right, so I'm actually about to cross 16 left, which I'm not trying to do. So I'm going to turn around. Actually, no, I'm going to wait until this aircraft takes off, and we'll take off from here actually. So I'm just going to wait for this guy because we don't really need all this runway, but I did not mean to come from this far down. So while we're waiting here, we'll do our checks. So already got our altitude set. Set our heading bug again on the runway. Trim's already set. Let's do this test here as well while waiting.
EGPWS system OK.
All right. So that is good. Also going to set my nav source real quick. GPS. Awesome. All right, flaps already set. We're gonna move into position, and we're gonna get our lights on. So we're gonna be about halfway down the runway for takeoff. There you go. All right, and we are gonna make this really quick. Gonna get our lights on. Landing strobe. Recog lights can come on, and we are gonna move our condition level up to flight idle. Yaw dampener is off. Ice protection as required. Cause is looking good except for our pusher test annunciator, and yeah, I think we're good to go for takeoff, folks. So we're gonna set our takeoff power and get out of here. And away we go, folks. And apply a little bit of left rudder and rotates.
Airborne time logged.
Gear up. All right, this guy. Beautiful. Look at that. Lima, Peru is absolutely stunning. So we're just gonna pick up speed. We're gonna probably adjust to go to about 150. And we'll do IAS. Yaw damper and autopilot is on. Beautiful. I still can't believe how massive how massive Lima is. It really took me by surprise. Let's go nav. And let's just figure out where our flight path is. So we have to go right. So let's get back on our flight track. Gonna align heading. Gonna go into heading mode, and then we are going to turn right. Just until we intercept this guy here. All right. Ooh. All right, so looking good. We have our, here we see. Actually, just gonna come here. Because it looks like we're gonna be coming in too steep an angle at this point. Or we could just kind of direct to the next waypoint. We'll see what happens. Yeah, everything looks good. Let's do our after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up. Yaw dampener is on. Landing and taxi lights. Those will come off. Taxi lights are already off. Landing lights will come off at 10,000 feet, which we are fast approaching. Climb power is set. Pressurization looks good, and engine instruments are looking good. Nav is alive now. We're making that left turn to get back onto our flight track, so that's awesome as well. Everything is looking a-okay. So as I mentioned, I checked out the airport because just from flying on air before, I noticed that a lot of these level 1 airports, you get kind of burned if you don't really know where you're going. I've had many a times where these airports end up being some little random grass strip in the middle of a field. I couldn't see crap. I didn't know where the airport was, or like it ends up being like a random airstrip in a mountain somewhere. You have no idea what you're looking for. So I just made sure to check it out ahead of time just to get an idea of what the airport's gonna look like. And the San Juan de Marcona airport is it's a very small airport, but it's pretty visible, and it's kind of on the coast and fairly easy to see if you know where to look. And so we also have our GPS here as well to help us. We're gonna most likely have to fly over the airport and then turn around and come back in to land on runway 33. So basically approaching from the opposite direction that we need to land. So we're probably gonna have to hand fly the aircraft to get it into position, but shouldn't be too bad though. So not too much to worry about there. All right. So we've actually crossed over 10,000. Let's get these guys off. Well, landing lights can come off while the rest can stay on. All right. Okay. Make sure. See what my GPS is doing. Okay. All right. So let's talk about San Juan de Marcona, because I, once again, know nothing about South America, apparently. It's a lot of interesting little airports to fly into. So let's see what's going on there. So, San Juan de Marcona. First off, this coastal town is nestled along the southern shores of Peru, and it's actually part of the Nazca province. And when you think of Peru, you might immediately picture Machu Picchu or the vibrant streets of Lima, which we just left. But San Juan de Marcona has its unique charm. So one interesting thing about San Juan de Marcona is its population. So while it might not be the largest town in Peru, it's still home to a diverse community of people. And the population here tends to be quite dynamic, with many residents involved in the local fishing industry thanks to its coastal location. Now, let's also talk about what you could do in San Juan de Marcona while you're there. If you're a beach lover, you're in luck. So the town boasts some stunning beaches with golden sands and crystal clear waters. Whether you're into swimming, sunbathing, or just taking a leisurely stroll along the shore, there's something there for everyone. But also, so San Juan de Marcona is also known for its rich history and archaeological sites. So one of the must-visit sites is the nearby Pampa de Santo Domingo, where you can explore ancient ruins and learn about the region's pre-Columbian civilizations. It's like stepping back in time. And for all you adventure seekers out there, San Juan de Marcona offers some thrilling activities like dune buggy rides throughout the desert, or even sandboarding down the towering sand dunes. It's an adrenaline rush like no other. I'm not really an adrenaline junkie, so I don't think I'd probably do something like that, but you know, if that's your thing, go for it. Of course, after a day of exploring and adventuring, you'll want to refuel with some delicious Peruvian cuisine, from fresh ceviche made with locally caught seafoods. If you don't know what ceviche is, I believe it's kind of like raw fish, kind of marinated in lemon juice. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the lemon juice kind of cooks the fish. Best way to explain it. So you could eat that, or there's hearty stews packed with traditional flavors. The food scene will not disappoint. So whether you're drawn in by picturesque beaches, its rich history, or its adrenaline pumping activities, San Juan de Marcona is definitely worth adding to your travel bucket list. It's a hidden gem just waiting to be discovered. All right. So that's about it, folks. We are at 18,600 climbing to 25,000. So should be smooth sailing all the way up. And I am just going to go do a couple things in the meantime. And when we come back, I will be starting our descent into San Juan de Marcona, hopefully for a nice smooth landing. All right, this is your boy FlyIslandGuy. I'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are well into our descent towards our destination. We're descending right now to 1,300 feet, and the airport is actually straight ahead of us right there. But we're going to be landing our runway 33, which is actually back in this direction. So we're basically going to have to do a flyby of the airport, and then we'll turn and come back and land on runway 33. Now, the interesting thing about this airport as well is that the actual runway is pretty short. There's like an extended area at the end of the runway, but because we're landing, I'm not sure if we should be using any of that, because I don't. It doesn't look like, from the way the airport looks, it doesn't look like that's actual runway. So we're gonna have kind of a lot less runway to deal with. So what I'm gonna try and do is kind of get as slow as possible. And the good thing is we'll hit 300 feet, 1,300, sorry, and we'll have time to kind of bleed off a lot of speed. So I'm gonna pretty much be coming in a lot slower than I normally do, and we're gonna work with that. So as you can see, the airport is straight ahead of us. The GPS has set a waypoint for a straight in approach, which is, I guess, somewhere out in the water somewhere. So that's kind of where we're heading now, but I think what I'll do is just go into heading mode, and we'll just kind of manually set the direction that we're supposed to go. And we'll just fly it visually, pretty much. That'll make things sort of a lot easier for us. So we're just gonna turn a little bit right, just so we could fly past the airport. And we're just gonna slow down a lot. Engines are pretty much at idle now. And we are descending now to 3,000 feet. Just going to adjust the altimeter. While we're doing that, we're going to look at our approach checklist. Recognition lights are on, radios and nav aids are set. Altimeters are set, pressurization is good, our inertial separator is open, and we've pretty much done the briefing for the landing. So our approach checklist is complete. This is the airport here off to our left. As you could see. So San Juan de Marcona. Town is kind of like around the area there. So if you look, I can zoom in, you'll see like this is pretty much the runway here up to that spot there. All the rest of this is just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's runway as well. So yeah, we're gonna have to kind of work with that a little bit. Alright, so I'm gonna get my speed down as we continue to our descent to 1300. And we're just gonna try and keep an eye on the airport. I'm gonna lose visibility of it now, but that's fine though. I'm just gonna let my airspeed bleed off, and yeah, now we can go ahead and start deploying flaps. Get our gear down. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the yaw damper, and I'm just gonna get the trim all set up, and I'm gonna get the autopilot off now as well. Okay, so we're at 13,000 feet, which is kind of what we are looking for. We're gonna go flaps 30, and I might actually do like a flaps 40 landing here. We're gonna try and get back down to 1300 feet. And we're going to do a before landing checklist as we're turning. Landing gear is down, 3 green, foot brakes, good to go. Landing lights, let's get our taxi lights on as well. Taxi lights on. Flaps are good to go. Autopilot and yaw dampener is off. Cabin pressure is good to go. Okay, so we're just gonna turn and line up now. I'm gonna go flaps 40. I don't really do flaps 40 too often, but I'm gonna try and keep our speed as low as possible. Okay, and here we go, folks. Gonna get our nose pointing down with the trim. Okay, and let's just line up. I'm just giving a little bit of throttle just to kind of keep our speed up, but we're doing about 85 knots coming in. And as I said, I don't know how much of this is like usable runway, so I'm just gonna try and get to the actual runway, because it doesn't really look like a usable runway. That's the town of San Juan de Marcona off to our left. Out there. Sea town. And the actual runway here is really, it's kind of narrow. Alright, just trying to keep our speed up a little bit, not too high. Alright, a little to the right. There you go. That's it. It's gonna be, might be a little bit of a hard one.
Logged.
Yep. Ah. Shoot. Alright, that one wasn't the best. No. Alright. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Juan de Marcona. And I'm gonna go hide under a rock now. That was a bit of a rough one, but that's okay. Alright, we're gonna park here. Let's get all cleaned up. Let's get all these guys off. You can come off as well.
Warning, trim.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna get the standby bus back on, and I'll go ahead and cut the engines now.
Engine off time
Warning,
logged.
essential bus.
The flight is finished. It has been monitored by On Air.
Alright, so that was a bit of a rough one, but we got down, which is good. And that is it, folks. So, San Juan de Marcona, that one is in the books. A bit of a rough landing. After I talked about how much I've gotten used to flying the aircraft and everything, I go and give you guys one of the most garbage landings of all time. But it is what it is. All right. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video if you see fit. The South America tour continues. And we're going to see where we go next. I'm still trying to get as far south as I can. Because right now On Air has been a little rough with me with those trips, so I'm not kind of going where I want to go. So we'll see how things go though. Overall, our block time was 95 minutes, and we were airborne. Actually, we were flying for about 1 hour and looks like 5 minutes. 1 hour 5 minutes. So yeah, pretty much kind of spot on with the travel time, which is good. But according to On Air, that was a very smooth landing. Actually shocked. So I'll take it. All right, folks, that's it for me. I'll be back soon with a new video. And that's about it. This is your boy FlyIslandGuy saying stay safe, and most importantly, stay fly. I'm out. Peace.